All right, welcome back. We got more recruiting action coming up. Whoa. Let's see if we can go to the right shit. All right, I've missed a few weeks here, so we're just gonna kind of slam it all into one video. We're gonna whip through these. Risk is not gonna be happy, who cares? But at least we have sound for me this time. We didn't even have sound for him last video. I think we got end of season, conference championship, and super regional that I'll do today. And then we'll save College World Series and final stuff for another time. But here we get uh, Enrique and Alexander La Ramirez get visited by a ghost, and it looks like the end result they're gonna only attend the same school. Obviously, kind of early on, it was pretty much obvious that Enrique loved his family, and they were kind of potentially going to be a package deal. You do see here that they all of a sudden are hitting nasty 547, 614 batting averages. Obviously, Alexander's stats not good, G contact and shit. So kind of dumb that Alexander's nasty now, but seems like he will be nasty, and it seems like they will attend the same school. But the kicker, if you can't get him to go to the same school, they're going to JUCO and coming back next year. So we'll see what happens if they get split, if people get two, and going on from there. Next up, we have Mask Off, Mask On. Vincent Marquez was a blue chip prospect that looked nasty. He was like 700 something stars. Gets basically a failed surgery here. Drops down. This is basically like one of the in-game players, Yaku Mask. Instead of going from good to really good, he's going from really good to not as good. So that's interesting there. We'll still see if people's interested. The character is still not that bad. So we got a new player here, Haruto Iku. I think people kind of guessed this right away. This is another of the in-game characters. Go for starting pitcher, third base here. Not too bad, but he's joining from Japan, going right to the class. So all of a sudden, a new good player is added. See if the teams fight for that. We got Cole Rickman here. No more bat flips. So they keep changing his stuff, but this dude's the one that's like addicted to drugs or some shit. Or just using drugs, PEDs, whatever. Looks like he's still nasty at hitting, but who knows. And then here we got Jamichael Sequins. So we kind of have gone on his storyline before. Started off as a multi-sport athlete, good pitcher, good hitter, but then he hurt his arm. Now he's not a good pitcher. And it looks like he's going to be a good outfielder, working hard in the cage. So that's great. All his ratings are changed again, so he's basically just keeps going through multiple phases. He's like a nice little butterfly. Ooh, John Andabelli looking angry, only caring about a bag. I love all of Andabelli's pixel art ones. They're all the best by far. It's mad good. But they basically find out that although he had that thing with his brother trying to show he's a nice guy, now he's like douchebag. And they get exposed, but he's not backing down. He's not backing down. This week he can't really do much. So that's interesting with Andabelli. And that was end of season, so now we're on conference championship. So this is the next week now. Again, we're backed up. And we saw that Alex La Ramirez was not good before. Now he is nasty. 622 stars, so if someone can get both of these guys, pretty nuts. 632 and 622. That's pretty busted. But the La Ramirez lockdown. Yeah, pretty much nasty guys. All right. Then we got Blake Ponder. He showed his hitting here. He was one of those Coach P guys. Remember Coach P and Sheldon Milk? Had a really good buff for him season 1. Here we got Blake Ponder. Looking nasty hitting. Pretty sure he's good hitting and then terrible in the field, but let's see what happens. And then here, this is the controversial one. Connor Bridgerton looked like a sneaky scout from Arizona. They kept going in on this guy. They found him that he was nasty. Just straight up gets murdered. Pretty funny. Yeah, teammate abuse. I mean, maybe we gotta scout his teammate. That's some cutthroat stuff to rat out his teammate there, but I don't know. If Connor Bridgerton just all of a sudden dead, and he's removed from the class. He was nasty too. He has like 600 something stars or some shit as a 3-star guy, so crazy. Here we got Garrett Michelson. Basically the Dennis Rodman of the league. He needs to go to Vegas, chill out, and after he comes back from Vegas, just throws a perfect game. And then he get the little perks here or whatever, kind of anti-perks, but When he pitches, he has to do an extra day of rest, and then he can't play if he's purple mood. Obviously, purple mood probably not playing anyway, but the extra day of rest is a little tough. Here we got Jimmy Terry, a little the dude that like broke his arm early on in the season. Now he's back throwing right and left-handed. Probably should have been seen that coming, that he would be able to throw again when he unbroke his arm, or when his arm peeled. But now that's interesting because you'll have like basically two versions of the player, and you can throw with them like right-handed or left-handed. It's basically like an extra roster spot. Here in Super, yep. So now again, this is the last week that we'll show. Now we're on Super Regional. Here is Jermichael Sequence's card. Obviously 669 stars is gross. He's nasty except for throwing. He's got G throwing, bad throwing rating. But other than that, he's gross. And then also you have this huge bonus here. Jermichael Sequence gives plus 200 points for every single graduating senior outfitter on the team. That's pretty big. We'll go through that in this expel sheet after this to see who was getting what buff. And then this is kind of a teaser for Season 3 too, but Andabelli is saying, I am only signing if you give me 300k from your Season 3 budget. So that's going to be a change of how you're recruiting. Still kind of waiting for information on that, but Andabelli needs that dough. Here we got Craig Bishop showing a new player, Jax Knox, getting added to the class. And Craig Bishop was one of those scouting directors, but no one ended up picking him. It's basically a worse version of Keisha Clark that I have with Phone Call Boost. Let's see what that does for Season 3 as well. And then Cole Rickman, we kind of talked about him more again, but another relapse for his drug test. And then he's just going crazy pretty much. Can't be scouted, can't do it, visit a school. And at this point, I think he'd already basically committed to Stanford too, so that's pretty funny. And this is going to be the last one we show today. We do have, I think, a couple more weeks of storylines, but Carter Harrison, one of those pitchers that's gross. We kind of scouted him early on, but we'll kind of get to what happened. Might have a little secret stuff going on behind the scenes for dishing out who gets what prospect. But he looks nasty. Gold, delayed arm, iron ball, fighting spirit, all gross abilities. Has a special pitch, which is gross. Pretty good for that. All right. Here we got this Excel sheet. Scroll up to the top. Yeah, let's go through the recruit actions quick. So again, we do have like 1 week of spoilers in there as usual, but no biggie. I can't scout on his version, but I think we left off end of week 3. So again, the big thing in week 3 was Oregon, and this is basically shaping the entire rest of the recruiting scene here. Oregon and Florida both having Enrique Ramirez for visits. That week was also double XP for these guys. And then Florida ended up going 4-0, and then Oregon ended up going 2-2. So basically Florida jumped out to a crazy lead, and it's like pretty much impossible for Oregon to win. So you'll kind of see after this visit, I just completely gave up on Enrique and Alexander Ramirez, and I had to kind of pivot to other stuff. But now because I pivoted to other stuff, some other people aren't going to get the prospects that I can now get. So we'll see how that kind of goes, but it looks like Florida is like running away with the Ramirez brothers at this point, which we'll kind of get to. So this is the week after that end of regular season. See Stanford's in on Marshall Harrington, and that's all we're going to see from Stanford as they have that Ghost Fog of War shit for their perk. Tennessee's in on Jasper Motor, John Andabelli, and looks like Jeremiah Sterling and Morrison Hayes. Also, they're going in for the new guy, Heritu Iku. Looks like go. And also Tokyo Thomas, but we saw Arkansas has been in on them for a lot, so it's going to take a lot to catch up on that. Georgia in on a few guys, Colton Maddox, Sawyer McKenna, Brody Jefferson, Tristan Martinez, Jamie Matter, Garrett Michelson, kind of doing a lot of everything here. And Manning McLaughlin as well, Marshall Harrington as well. What's going on? They did a lot of different actions that week. Arkansas still going in on Vincent Marquez. This is after that storyline, of course. James Charles they're in on, and they go all in on Heritu Iku, maxing out their options, send head coach, scout, email, request tapes, and package, and phone call academics. They ran on Jimmy Kohei as well. I think he's the guy that whoops pitch. You go after Jonathan Dodd as well, who's like that lacrosse player that was added on early on. And here you see Florida. They do a scholarship on the La Ramirez brothers and also an email to Chase Underwood, who they're way ahead on. So then kind of throw back to season 1 where we left off last time. Again, we were Oregon was targeting the La Ramirez brothers, but at this point we knew that we weren't going to get it. So I don't think we can really look at the points just before we go through. I usually scout it on my stuff, but at the time we were kind of close to La Ramirez, but then after the double XP visits we were behind. But so then there's kind of like 3 pitchers after that. We had Manning McLaughlin, we had Reed Piper, and then we had Carter Harrison. We're like our 3 guys that we're kind of battling with Arizona for. So at this point, now that I was out on the La Ramirez guys, we kind of worked out a deal with Arizona where we would go after Manning McLaughlin, and they would go after Reed Piper and Carter Harrison versus all of us fighting. If we fought on everything, I'd probably end up winning the 2 pitchers, but at this point, I have no shortstops next year, so we need to hope that Manning McLaughlin is decent at shortstop. Even if not, we still have to put someone at shortstop. We have no one there. You have like Jackson Jaha can play out of position or play at a board like an E rating or something. That's pretty much it. So Manning McLaughlin is now kind of our new target. And then we had to kind of give up on Reed Piper and Carter Harrison, even though these guys do look gross. And we probably could end up winning these guys, but we wouldn't have been able to win Manning McLaughlin, Reed Piper, and Carter Harrison. And then that also let us go after Jamichael Sequins, because basically did the math, and at this point in the season, again at this like turning point from where we left off last time, I saw that if I maxed out my actions every single week on Jamichael Sequins, sending the 5 actions, eventually sending the head coach, and eventually sending the scholarship, I can win Jamichael Sequins over Arkansas, who I was fighting with at the time. So that's kind of what I ended up doing. And then I pretty much just said to Arkansas straight up, just so you know, I will be doing this. You will lose. It's up to you if you want to keep fighting or not. And they ended up just saying, yeah, you're right. I also did the math. It didn't matter. That could have ended up really spicy based on the storyline that we had for Jamichael. You remember the one where... Yep, this one right here. We got plus 200 for every team, for everyone with a graduating outfielder. So he gave up on it. If he had more graduating outfielders than me, that would have been tough because he definitely would have won. But I ended up having more graduating outfielders anyway. I had 3 and I think he had 2. So it didn't really matter. All right, back to the actions so we can look at that. But so then you can see now Arizona's going after Reed Piper. They're going after Sterling, Carter Harrison. And at the time, they still didn't show that Carter Harrison was nasty, so like he's trying to keep it under the radar at this time. He has lots of abilities, pretty much. And then Oregon, again, we're maxing out Jamichael, we're maxing out Manning McLaughlin. Those are kind of our 2 main targets now. And then we still have Ashton Brooks that we're going after, or Andre Riggs, and then Blake Ponder I was trying to go after before they showed it. I do think Stanford has this like locked up if they want it, but they ended up getting Carl Rickman, who is basically a DH, and Blake Ponder is basically a DH. So worst case for us, they take both, and then they have to play one of them in the field. But it'd be nice for us to get our DH here and Blake Ponder. We'll see what ends up happening. And then Kai Kardashian, we're still up and away on. I think, yeah, we're pretty much away on him. And then Andre Riggins, we still have no idea if he's good or not, but hopefully Coach P gives us some love there. And also, we just don't have a second baseman starting next year, so might as well try and get Andre Riggins, you know? Still have to kind of work out some of our back targets. But as you can see at this point, our main targets are Kai Kardashian, Manny McLaughlin, Jamichael, Andre Riggins, Brooks, and then Blake Ponder / miscellaneous. But it's pretty much all out to see as we're going to go through. Here's Conference Championship Week. Again, you can see Stanford. You can see they're going all out on these guys because the fact that they're willing to show request tape and scout means they're basically doing every single action they can on these guys. So you got Marshall Harrington they're going after, Amon Glass they're going after, and looks like Blake Ponder. So again, they have all these guys probably if they want them. Marshall Harrington versus Florida, obviously a good battle. But I think that Stanford's going to have that easy glass up there. You can see Georgia here. They scouted the dude that was murdered the week prior. Trying to call him. I don't think he answered the phone, though. Garrett Michelson, they're still in. And then Georgia goes after Go as well. They go after Comey with that whoops pitch. Sawyer McKenna, Brody Jefferson. What else we got? Here we're back to Arkansas. Here they offer Vincent Marquez a scholarship despite the nerf that he got. Of course, he's still pretty decent. They're still going all in on Go. They send the head coach to Tokyo Thomas. Arkansas just got a crazy budget, and it's pretty nice for them because they can just send head coach to everyone, where other people kind of have to choose when they're sending their head coach. We'll see if any head coaches come out, probably in the final week, but I don't know if we're going to see them in the regular season for anyone else still. And Arkansas sent like 4 of them so far, so pretty good for them. Arizona again going after Reed Piper, Carter Harrison, also Ray Summer. And it looks like they're testing the waters on Garrett Michelson. Obviously did have that not great storyline there, but still has some good stuff. And Sterling. Florida, again, they're still getting the Ramirez brothers. They're still going after Harrington, Glass, Underwood. I think they end up pretty much getting Underwood locked up at some point. But you can see they're trying to get all these guys. We'll see what ends up happening. I think they'll have to focus on Glass and Harrington late at this point. So they pretty much have Ramirez guys locked up. But Oregon here, again, we're going after Jamichael. We're going after Manning McLaughlin. And I think this week it was I was in the hospital for my son being born, and I said run it back with the same actions as last week. Just send the scholarship to Jamichael instead of Manning McLaughlin this time. Tennessee, again, very similar actions as well. They might have run it back as well, honestly. Yeah, they might have run it back as well. And Arkansas, this is the outfield boost. So you can see it was 200 points, so 50 is a scout is 50 each, so that's 100. And yeah, so 4 each is 100. No, it was 200 each for each outfielder, so you need like several of these. But the biggest one was Arizona, I think had 4. And then Oregon had 3. And then here we'll leave it off because if I go, yeah, this is the last one we'll be able to see in the sheet anyway. So Tennessee still going in on Go, Annabelle Motor, Hayes, Jimmy Terry. Stanford again battling on Harrington, Glass, Ponder. Looks like Sloan as well. Scouting there. Jimmy Comey. That whoops. People are in on the whoops pitch. They know it's broken. Brody Jefferson. And then Oregon again. We're still just maxing out Jamichael and Manning. We're saying, all right, we better get these guys. If we get our top 3, at least we have 3 good players and see what goes from there. Obviously, we don't know about Manning McLaughlin, though. Hopefully, he's decent. Again, we're still trying to get these guys like in a comfortable position. Arizona still going after these same. Looks like probably several scouting stuff this week because they didn't do too much of their budget, and that's shown at least. Florida, Harrington gets the scholarship offer. Ramirez, Harrington, Glass, Noma. And lots more emails to these guys. Again, he gets plus 30 on each of these, so it's good for him to do emails. And then Arkansas still going after Marquez, Go, Tokyo Thomas, and the lacrosse boy, Jonathan Dodd. Man, that was a long one. All right, we'll do a quick look at the, just for a general schedule standings update and stuff too. Arizona did win their, Arizona won the conference championship for Pac-12. This isn't updated, but Florida beat Tennessee, if I remember. Yeah, I think Florida beat Tennessee. Then we actually already had some super regional games. We had Arkansas and Stanford go to extra innings. And Arkansas was leading 1-0 for most of the game, but home run tied it, and then they went extra innings, and then they blew it. And Oregon State lost to Florida. And then I think literally as I'm recording this video, Arizona and Georgia are facing off. Hopefully I'll be facing off with Tennessee soon. Maybe if we make College World Series, we'll like actually try to go harder on Ponder, but I don't know, like with the visit and stuff, but probably not. Look at the bracket. Yeah, we would have to face Stanford in the finals too, even if we made it that far. So we'll see what happens. Got to face Tennessee next, which is a good team, and then it would have to be versus Florida, who's also playing well. And back to the draft class, just to see like kind of what's going on. Again, we'll have some minor spoilers for the 1 week ahead, but you can see here, Lara Ramirez, he's up by over 1,000 at this point, kind of blowing it open. Marquez, Arkansas is killing it. Chase Underwood, so you can see they actually have a soft commit here. Where back do I have to go? God dang it. Oh no, hard commit. Wow. So Chase Underwood's going to Florida. That's already decided. And a belly, Tennessee leading there. And again, we never know about Stanford. We never really know about Florida and Arizona because they can hide some of their actions, but really Stanford's the one you gotta watch out for. Riley June, Arkansas is killing it. Don't think anyone really in on a lot of these guys. It's funny that this guy's like the 6th rank, this guy's the 7th rank, and really no one's really on them. Pretty funny. Harrington here. Florida killing it. But again, Stanford, you don't know. So that's probably pretty close. Go. Arkansas leading Tennessee right now, but Arkansas did send the head coach already. So I think they both did do visits on this super regional week. So we'll see what ends up happening. Arkansas did lose their game. So if Tennessee wins, they might have the inside track to go there. Jermichael Sequins we're running away with now. Manning McLaughlin we're running away with now at Oregon. Callaway not looking too crazy. I think they showed him in like the spoiler storyline. Sorry. But he's like D everything. James Charles going to Arkansas. Kai Kardashian soft committed to Oregon this week. Again, cheating. Sterling, Tennessee leading there. I'm on glass. Again, that's another Stanford-Florida battle. Reed Piper looking like Arizona. Carter Harrison looking like Arizona. Comey looking like Georgia right now. Well, that's actually an interesting one because we've seen several different people in on him. He's not amazing, but he's not bad. He just has the broken special pitch. Stanford actually got a hard commit on this dude already, so like he's going to Stanford. The points again are behind the scenes. We're looking good on Ashton Brooks. Sorry, McKenna. Georgia's looking good. Again, Ponder, Stanford, I think, is killing it behind the scenes, but they could end up passing now that they got Carl Rickman. Tokyo Thomas, Arkansas is in on. Florida kind of in on Nelma. Georgia was in on Maddox. So Arizona's been working on Ray Summer here. Which is this dude catcher / outfield. Jasper Motor is looking pretty gross. Tennessee kind of looking pretty good on him right now. Jimmy Terry, the dude with the two-side pitching. He's amphibious. And again, Lara Ramirez, Alex here. He's up by like over 1,000 because he's definitely done like scouting stuff behind the scenes. It's pretty much locked up at this point. Andre Riggins we're looking good on. Geens. What else? That's pretty much it. There's a couple of bottom guys here too. Arkansas looking at Dodd, Leela, etc., etc. That's pretty much good. That was a good run through. We got a lot of shit there. And that was what? Long ass one. Anywho, we'll see you. We got a couple more coming. Hopefully we get some more games soon. Till next time.